NBA legends like Michael Jordan and Steph Curry interested in her. She has caused arguments and split views even after the season was over. Clark is more than just a player. She's the center of debate, admiration, and even jealousy, making basketball fans all over the world feel strong feelings. Caitlin Clark is the new hot. You'll be behind if you don't have a long ball that goes 26 to 30 feet. If you're not like Steph Curry and don't have a long ball in your game, you'll be behind. We've never seen her do that before. I've never seen anyone do regularly. A lot of girls have done it in sports, but I'm like, damn, like the other game I'm watching. It's not enough to just look at a basketball court to know that Caitlin Clark is a star. She is a star who is changing the way we think about women's sports. Even NBA stars can't say enough good things about her skill and fearless style, which has made the WNBA a whole new level of exciting. But this is where things really amaze me. Michael Jordan, the best player of all time, has finally talked about Caitlin again. What did he say? Things are going to change. MJ's praise isn't just nice words. Caitlin could become more respected in the game because of this huge change. But MJ isn't the only one who speaks out. NBA great Rick Barry didn't hold back when he spoke out in support of Caitlin. He said some very important things. Barry called out the hate she's gotten from some WNBA players for what it is hate. There was envy and pure fear of her unstoppable ability. His words don't just shut up people who are her. She has gained in ways that can't be ignored. Everyone who isn't sure about MJ and Barry should listen to what they have to say, because it will make them think twice about who really deserves the attention in basketball. I believe it is wrong for them to let some of these players do what they are, and anyone who does anything rude to this young woman because of what she brings to the game should be punished severely. For Caitlin Clark, WNBA great George Gervin has stepped up and won't hold back. One thing very clear. We should be proud of Caitlin's skills instead of putting them down. His words were like an explosion and sent a message to everyone who was doubting. Legends can see how great Caitlin is, and will always be. Gervin has a strong defense that is making a lot of people talk. They don't understand how valuable she is to all of them. They are flying private planes down and she is bringing them. Before she got there, they went flying alone. That's not what they did. I see, she makes me think of Tiger Woods when I play golf. Yes, there are times when the people who aren't in the news are the ones who tell us the truth. Jeff Teague came along. He was a good player in the NBA for 12 years, making the All-Star team and winning a title. But he was never one to seek fame or the spotlight. When Teague retires, he speaks out about how the WNBA has treated Caitlin Clark. He has a lot to say. A lot of fans and is clearly very good, so her criticism hits hard and shows a side of the game that not many people are willing to talk about. Like, did this wrong. It was their job to gas this crap. That's why people won't watch this crap after you graduate. You people who hate women's sports are mad at the best thing that will ever happen to the W. Jeff Teague may not say things in a nice way, but he's making a very important point here. After years of heated arguments about the pay gap between men and women, and trying to make the WNBA more well-known, wasn't welcomed with open arms. Teague tells Caitlin that her mood could hurt the growth of the league, and that she deserves better from her teammates and the WNBA. That's not all, though. The 10-time All-Star for the Celtics, Paul Pierce, helped get the media's attention on Clark right away. Pierce even caused a racial dispute when he talked about the Fever's best rookie. Since then, he's tried to take back what he said, but he's only recently started to value Clark. But his answer when she wasn't on the U.S. Olympic team? You want the women's game to grow, but you don't let the most famous girl in women's basketball play on the team. If you don't put her on the U.S. team, how will you grow both at home and abroad? It makes the most sense. It's necessary to inform everyone that this is more important than the game from time to time. Because of Caitlin Clark, women's basketball is at an all-time high. Pierce's words may seem polite at first, but if you look a little closer, it's clear that he still has doubts about Caitlin Clark's skills. But he's also implying that her skills were not enough to get her on the U.S. team. Pierce is always trying to get things done. His opinions are known to stir up trouble, so he might just be doing it to stay in the news. When things looked like they couldn't get any hotter with Caitlin, Shaquille O'Neal went off on Angel Reese's show and dropped a bomb in front of Clark's biggest critic. No holds barred, Shaq praised Caitlin in a way that left everyone speechless. Being backed up by an NBA great in this way. Even Caitlin's harshest critics can't deny how great she is. You're about to hear it from the big diesel himself. What if I tell you 10 times that you're not going to hit that shot and you do? That would mean you're telling the truth. Now I'm telling you to lower it like this. The fact that Caitlin missed the year's biggest sports event must have hurt her deeply. But what if it was really a gift that was hidden? The great NBA player and defense star Dwight Howard seems to agree. Back then, Howard thought that Caitlin could use her break to get better and be even stronger when she came back. He was right. Move forward. And Caitlin came back to the season with a force, which made Howard's words sound almost like they were written in the stars. Was Caitlin's stumble just what she needed to reach her full potential? Let's look at what Dwight knew was going to happen all along. There are a lot of great players, not just her. They are better at basketball than she is, which is why they should be in the Olympics right now. In any case, this should spur her on. Caitlin Clark was a whole different player after the Olympics. No one knows for sure how much being left off the team fired her up, but it was clear that her game was better. Clark might have been put on the bench on a team that was already full, which could have hurt her and caused her to lose her flow if she had gone to Paris. But Dwight Howard saw what other people didn't. He knew that this wasn't just a setback for a star like Clark. This was her chance to show that she's better than the other people who were picked. Then there's Isaiah Thomas, who is in the Hall of Fame and has seen everything, both on and off the court. Thomas, who had won a lot of titles and worked as an NBA coach and executive for years, had some nice things to say about Caitlin. He admired her ability, but he couldn't help but hint at how tough things are for her in the league. His words have weight, but there's something else going on beneath that. I like what she's done and what the journalists, the WNBA, and Isaiah Thomas did a great job of finding the right balance. In one sentence, he praised Caitlin Clark, hinted at the shady side of all the criticism against her, and stayed out of the drama. It's no secret that people love a good scandal, and when Caitlin first joined the WNBA, the media went crazy, making money off of every angle of it. Isaiah clearly sees through it all, but he's too smart to add fuel to the fire himself. Caitlin has quickly gained a lot of fans in Indianapolis, but she still has a ways to go before she can match the level of love from the people who live there. Reggie Miller, the legendary sharpshooter and fierce competitor who wore the Pacers number 31 for 18 seasons, is at the top of that list. You might expect Miller to support Clark as the city's new hope, but he basically told her that every rookie has to learn how to handle the heat and compete. What did you think was going to happen to her? First, I don't think it's jealousy. Oh my God, she's getting all the endorsements, we're going to go after her. You're playing at the highest level, you're in the WNBA, a BA, you're coming from college and going to the pro ring, right? What did she think was going to happen? Why are people so shocked? Reggie Miller grew up in an era when the NBA was all grit, physicality, and fierce competition. His view on hard fouls might not exactly fit today's game, but Caitlin Clark is up against a lot more than just wanting to prove herself. Caitlin's journey isn't just about earning respect, it's also about demanding fair treatment, even if it means standing her ground against serious resistance. Meanwhile, Magic Johnson, who has a front-row seat to women's basketball as a part owner of the LA Sparks, is aware of the tension surrounding Caitlin's rise. The legendary point guard and 5-time NBA champion shared some eye-opening thoughts on Caitlin's impact and also talked about other big-name rookies. His view isn't just about Caitlin. It's about the future of the league and the problems these young stars are facing. Now, Caitlin, her teammates need to defend her. Sure, you can't make her fight every battle, right? But we need to understand that both Caitlin Angel and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, made the WNBA better. And these amazing women who have been in the league for a long time will test them. Magic Johnson sees a strong parallel between today's young WNBA stars and his famous rivalry with Larry Bird, which changed the NBA in the late 1970s and early 1980s. He's asking for patience, saying that these up-and-coming stars need strong support from their teammates to get through tough times and reach the top. In typical Magic fashion, he praised everyone without getting into the controversy, but it was clear that he really liked Caitlin Clark. His admiration sends a message that even NBA legends who root for different teams have to admit how talented she is. If Magic was the height of class, Charles Barkley was the exact opposite in the best way. Barkley is known for being blunt off the court and for being a media favorite, and he doesn't hold back. The 11-time All-Star and 2-time Olympic gold medalist has spoken out about Caitlin Clark's time in the WNBA several times. He's mostly been supportive, like in this clip where he breaks down how her form changed during the season. Two things I like about Caitlin Clark now that I watch her play are that she's playing much faster, and that she was playing too slowly in the first half of the season. This was from the college season, and they didn't even explain why they were worried about her for the WNBA season. You girls have been working out on the no-fitting. Caitlin Clark may have been slowed down early in the season by fatigue as well as the defense she faced. Charles Barkley noticed this and said that Clark's recent energy boost has led to more chances in transition. But Barkley didn't stop there. He also spoke out about how some WNBA players have treated Caitlin, and he didn't hold back. His criticism was harsh and direct, shedding light on the hostile treatment she's received. You women out there, yo petty man. Hey LeBron, you're 100% right about these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Yo petty girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most. Caitlin Clark's story is about more than just competition. It's about people who go out of their way to be mean or petty. Players have thrown Clark to the ground for no reason related to the game, making it look like more than just rough play. Some people say that Clark's talent should be praised instead of criticized, which makes sense. But Barkley thinks there's a bigger problem here. The media is stirring the pot and driving this whole story. You can't make this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. People believe what we say on TV. If someone doesn't like your personality or the way you act, they can't go on TV and say bad things about you. It's all BS. This girl is amazing. The amount of attention she's gotten from the pros and these women's small jealousy. You can't blame Charles Barkley for being angry about what he sees as a serious injustice. The WNBA knows that Caitlin Clark is a big draw. Part of the problem is that the company doesn't want to jump on Clark's meteoric rise to fame just yet because they want to see how the season goes. But there's also the fact that some important people in the media may dislike Clark personally, which is not acceptable at work. Then Michael Jordan spoke out about Caitlin, and when MJ speaks, everyone listens. What he said was clear: the WNBA owes a lot to Caitlin for how she's changed the game. He also called for changes in officiating, saying that the refs have been unfair to Clark, and it's time for the league to do right by her. Caitlin deserves the respect she's earned from both players and officials. Of course, Caitlin Clark is often compared to Steph Curry, and it's easy to see why. Her long-range shooting makes her stand out. However, Curry and Clark's skills aren't limited to the three-point shot. Steph has said that Caitlin is unique because she does more than just shoot like him. She also makes the game more exciting and helps her team, even when she's not holding the ball. This is what makes Steph great, and it's why his praise for Caitlin is so meaningful. It's no wonder that everyone is always asking him about her. I saw someone break down the release time, which is pretty much the same as mine. One can't help but watch her play. The range, the confidence, the flair. She's a performer. It's crazy though, because her shot is that good. If you really watch like the curtain floor game, it's that impressive. So it's kind of the whole package. Steph Curry's name is almost synonymous with three-point shooting, and for good reason. He played for the NBA in a historic three-point shootout against the WNBA, and it was an exciting back-and-forth battle. In the end, Steph came out on top. However, what if something even more exciting happens in the future? What if Caitlin Clark, who has already been called the female Steph Curry, gets her chance in a three-point match between the NBA and WNBA?